My name is Nancy. I work as a counselor for deaf and hard of hearing services here. How can I help you today?
Well, my name is Amber Carson, and this is my new baby. He's only about 4 days old. His name is Doug. And at the hospital before we left, they did some kind of test, and they just gave me this paper, and it said that he was deaf, and I just don't know what to do. So they told me to come to your office.
Okay, well, that was the best decision for you. We're here to help you. Our program can give you information that can help train you on how to interact with your new baby. And with this program, you can you can really develop an understanding of what you need to offer your baby. There are other agencies that can help you, and they can refer you to school programs for deaf and hard of hearing students, for your baby for later on in life. There are mentor programs. If you're interested, they can teach you sign language so that you can learn how to communicate with your baby and develop language together. So you have some options. What do you think? I know it's very overwhelming right now. It's very hard, I understand that. But you came to the right place, I promise.
I'm really scared. I just don't know what to do. I've never even met a deaf person, and there's nobody deaf in my family, and there's nobody deaf in my husband's family. We just don't know what happened, and I don't know how to use that sign stuff, and somebody said don't sign with the baby, and I just want him to be able to hear my voice.
So you said your baby's only 4 days old, right? So here's a thought. Maybe you should wait a couple months, and go back to the hospital and have him tested again. Have his hearing tested again, because sometimes that first test will show deafness, but later on, when you test again, the results change, and you find that your baby can hear. It's very odd, but it does happen. So, up to that 6 month point, you should definitely keep going back for regular checkups, because they have very advanced machinery they can use. When you get him tested, they will send waves through his ears, little sound waves, and it tests how sound moves through the ear and into the brain. And they can test what sounds
So
he's
what do
receptive to.
how do I talk to my baby right now? I mean, he's nursing and things, but
Oh, you can just talk to him like a normal baby. That's fine. Um, Whether he can hear sounds or not, just talk to him. If he can hear, if he can't hear, just go ahead and use your voice. He'll see your facial expressions. He'll feel you speaking to him. So
so
you should
the
definitely do
only
that.
way I can talk with my baby is to do what you're doing?
No, there are other ways. Uh, there's not only sign language. For one thing, he's going to understand your body language, your facial expressions, what you do. There are other options like cued speech. Um, you can't take it as a class like sign language, but it helps him read lips so he can understand words that are unclear on the face. You could train him in an oral method, which means lip reading and
But
using his
if Doug is
voice.
completely deaf and you do an oral method, is he going to hear anything, or would it be better to use some visual
No, no.
with him?
You should definitely use visual methods with him. Show him pictures, show him signs. Oftentimes, actually, teaching sign language helps babies better understand spoken language even when they're hearing. So, because the words coming out of your mouth they don't understand, but they can see those signs and copy your language, and it really helps them develop language later on in life.
So you're saying that Dougie's going to be able to sign to me soon?
If we establish a deaf mentor program with him, that mentor will be deaf and will come to your home and sit down with you personally and show you the program, show you what we do, and teach you sign language. At the same time, you can teach your family, teach your son sign language, and they'll copy from you. So while you're learning, they're learning with you. So you're not by yourself. It's your whole family involved in the process. It's very important that your baby develop language at a young age. And this can really help. Whether he's deaf or not, this will really be beneficial.
I think that's just really great if someone could come to my house, because my husband, Jim, and I, we decided that Dougie should be at home. And so I have put in a leave of absence from my work for the first year. And could the mentor come at night? My husband works until about 3.
Oh, yes, absolutely, of course. That mentor is going to be very flexible with your schedule. They understand you have needs. And anytime during the program you want to reestablish what's going on with the mentor, you can definitely do that. You can re-examine, excuse me. And in the meantime, your whole family can be involved. And extended family, your brothers and sisters can join you in this process of learning to communicate with your baby.
I feel a little better. I just have one last question. So if other things come up and I mean, we don't know what to do in 6 months or a year or 2 years, is this a place where I can come to get more information, or can you just help me this once?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Anytime you have a question, we are always here to help you. I have lots of information I can actually give you to take home with you today. This is just parental information, things that might happen. We're going to put several pieces of information in here. This lets you know about education for your children. This resource answers questions that you might have with your deaf children. And this sheet just gives you our promise to serve and to work with the deaf and hard of hearing children. It's kind of our mission statement. This sheet here tells you more about what we can do for you and your baby and your whole family to get everybody involved. Not just education, but also events, deaf programs and activities. So I have a program for deaf parent support. If you're having trouble, we'll contact the deaf community and ask them to contact you personally if you give them your permission to contact you, and they can discuss any concerns you might have with you.
Oh yeah, this is so new to us. We're just not sure what to do. As I said, we have no deaf experience at all. And so this was pretty frightening when we found out. We just didn't know what to do. I mean, we love him because he's our son, but I want to be a good mom. We want to be good parents.
Of course. That's perfectly natural what you're going through. Every parent goes through the same thing you're going through right now. I promise you're not alone. So many parents have gone through this exact same experience with deaf children, and they have been successful, and I'm sure that you're going to be just fine as well.